Chapter 20. I am Lin Zhu. What are you doing? Yan Tian asked indignantly. He was still looking at the missions on the display screen and wanted to see if he could complete some missions to earn rewards when he realized he was being pushed away. What? You want to fight? Seeing how angry Yang Tian was, the boy who pushed him away sneered and replied coldly, You! Yang Tian clenched his fist as his heart was filled with rage, but he was not strong enough. The person in front of him was a quasi-warrior, and he was no match for him based on his strength. You guys from class 29 are at the bottom of the list. You'll be the same no matter how hard you train. All right, I heard that the trash Lin Zhu is in your class, as expected of a trash class. Li Yuan sneered and remarked, Excuse me. Right at this moment, a voice sounded behind him. Li Yuan turned and saw Lin Zhu, who had appeared out of nowhere. After 3 days of training, Lin Zhu's temperament was different. If no one recognized who he was, they would never connect him to the trash from Xinyao Academy. Excuse your mother. Li Yuan coldly glanced at him and replied. Lin Zhu's gaze changed as he extended his hand and launched an attack. Beginner warrior? Seeking death. Li Yuan laughed and casually clenched his fist in retaliation. His fist immediately collided with Lin Zhu's fist head-on. A loud bang was produced from the impact. Logically, he believed that his fist was enough to smash Lin Zhu's fist into smithereens. Reality struck as he discovered in surprise that not only was Lin Zhu's fist fine, but also his fist was the one in pain. Yuan did not hesitate and released his right leg with the intention to kick Lin Zhu in the chest, but Lin Zhu seemed to have anticipated. His figure immediately flickered as he avoided the kick. He performed a reverse kick to the leg and pushed Li Yuan a distance away. How was that possible? Li Yuan was overwhelmed with surprise as his face revealed shock. Lin Zhu squinted his eyes. He was able to discern from the analytic eye that although Li Yuan's strength was higher than his, he was faster than Li Yuan. Seems you have some capability. Li Yuan became serious as he activated all his strength. He immediately charged at Lin Zhu. Explosive punch. Bronze skill. Explosive punch. As the name suggested, training in the skill would result in being able to produce explosions from every punch. He knew that learning skills were difficult, and only official warriors had the ability to grasp them. But Li Yuan had unleashed explosive punch and had done so with proficiency. Bang, bang, bang. Successive vacuum explosions were produced, and Li Zhu had no choice but to dodge them. How strong did he become? Zhang Yi's expression grew ugly as he witnessed the battle. In all fairness, even he might not have successfully dodged Li Yuan's fast and powerful explosive punches, but Lin Zhu was able to anticipate Li Yuan's attacks and avoid every strike. Damn it! Fury has a 3-day cooldown time, otherwise I would be able to defeat him now. Lin Zhu gritted his teeth and avoided a few more strikes. Li Yuan smiled happily. A student of class 29 actually wanted to compete with him? But at the next moment, Lin Zhu had grasped the opportunity and stopped Li Yuan's right arm as he punched out before twisting his arm forcefully. A loud cracking sound was heard as Li Yuan's arm was twisted at a 90-degree angle. The momentum from his own strength was not for naught. Arr! Li Yuan opened his eyes wide as he let out a wail. You dare to beat Class 1 people? Beat him! Upon seeing the result of the battle, Class 1 erupted in anger and roared. What are you all doing? Yang Tian and the other students walked over. Although they did not dare to speak up previously, they were all youths. After being bullied, they no longer cared. While the students of both classes faced off against each other, Lo Li and the teacher in charge of Class 1, Jiang Xiao, walked in. "What are you all doing?" Jiang Xiao frowned and questioned sternly. "Teacher Jiang, someone from Class 29 broke Li Yuan's arm." A boy reported the deed to the teacher. He then glanced at Lin Zhu. "He was the one to instigate this. He called our class trash and even pushed me." Yang Tian refuted. Lo Li frowned and waved his hand. He turned to Yang Tian and said, "Tell me what transpired in detail." Yang Tian nodded his head and did not exaggerate anything. He recounted everything factually to the teachers. Lo Li was already angry when he heard that Li Yuan had mocked his class as trash. He even felt appeased upon hearing how Lin Zhu had broken the boy's arm, but he could not show it on his face. "How can you beat your schoolmate?" Lo Li stood in front of Lin Zhu and feigned anger. "That's right. What kind of people do you have in your class?" Someone from Class 1 spoke up angrily. Lin Zhu quickly apologized to him. Lo Li added. He asked him to apologize, but he deliberately stressed on Lin Zhu's name. "Didn't you say that Lin Zhu is a trash at the bottom, to be beaten up by a trash? Who is real trash?" Student Li apologized. "I should not have hit so heavily just now." Lin Zhu apologized to Li Yuan, who was still wailing in pain. Their faces turned ugly when they heard Lin Zhu's words. "What? Not hit so heavily? That's clearly mocking them." "What is your name?" Jiang Xiao frowned and asked Lin Zhu. You don't know? Then let me introduce myself." Lin Zhu frowned and said, "I'm the one he called trash, Lin Zhu." Lin Zhu? When they heard his name, they could not help but be surprised. The one that received the most attention in Jin Yao Academy as the best student, but simultaneously the worst one. Everyone in the academy knew about the number one from the bottom, Lin Zhu. At this moment, many of the students from Class 1 felt heat on their faces, especially Li Yuan. He even forgot the pain in his arm as the humiliation and shame were too great. What was he then, if he was beaten by the trash?